Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome back, guys. As you can see by the title of this, we are gonna be trying to save this 78 C10 paint. I'll flip it around real quick and we will show you what we're working with because it is not pretty. Put the light on it, as you can see, there's swirls. It's all sorts of beat up. It was left over winter without the cover on. And it's got some haze to it. And this thing is pretty beat up. We're gonna see if we can get that fixed. And, where was it? There's a few scratches right there. I'm hoping that's not too deep, but we're gonna go ahead and try it. Yeah, look at that thing. You can see all the swirls in her. So this episode, we're gonna be working on saving this thing and bringing it back to life. Sorry for the air compressor in the back, but we just put a new stall converter in it, and tranny is still kind of acting funny, but it hasn't been driven. So I think the more we drive it, the better it's gonna be. My guess is we're gonna probably have to sand this thing with like a 2000 and a 3000 grit to try to break through all that surface stuff that's on top. And then we're gonna start with a nice heavy cut and go for a nice perfect, or as perfect as we can get it, I should say, finish on it. So I'll walk you through the steps as we go along and let's get after it. So first step we're gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna use my DA and an interface pad. I'm gonna wet sand this down with a 1000 grit just to get it all nice and flat. We'll then follow that with probably a 2000 grit, and I think we'll just start at that and see how that works out. So let's do that real quick, see where we left off. All right, guys, it's all sanded down. What we're gonna go ahead and use is, I use DA polishers. So I just got the Bauer one. It's got a decent throw on it. And I bought a brand new box of Lake Country pads. These things are awesome. This is actually my first time using them, but I hear great things about them. I'm gonna try that as well as the 3D paint correction, compound, and polish. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this pad out. I'm gonna start with the heavy cut because this thing's gonna need it. So we're gonna use our blue and white microfiber pad with the 510 3D. So I got my pad on. I put 4 little pea-sized drops on there. I'm gonna test this first section. I'm gonna work it in sections so we don't get ahead of ourselves. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my pad to do that. I put it on low at first. Speed it up. Let it sit there for a second or two. Now we can work our second. Spread it around and I add just a few more drops. I don't know, guys, I think she's gonna come out just dandy. You can kind of see there's still some curlicues in there. I don't think these are from me. I think whoever painted this truck back in the day probably did like a dry nip. So like they laid down the base coat, then they went over it real quick with like a 2000 grit and then they cleared it. Sometimes they don't bury that all the way, but I'm gonna try to just spot sand that. There's more somewhere. Like right here, and then this corner. Or I might just go over it again with the 2000 grit and see if I can't get it out. But that is a ton better. Grab our fancy power tool light. That's what it's going to look like out in the sun. And I think that looks pretty darn tootin' good. I am trying to challenge myself here and get this thing as perfect as I can. I really want to know if I can get those scratches out of that door. I honestly should have started there before I dug too deep and perfecting everything. Otherwise, there's just going to be that giant eyesore that's just hanging out on this door. Worst case scenario, if we get it all polished up nice, we can run it up to the paint store and they will, they will go ahead and do their best to match it with a pen, and I can draw it in, let's sand it down again and polish right over it and won't even notice it. So we're going to keep tearing away at this, man. I think it's going to come out beautifully. I still am debating on what I want to do, but I'm not using the most high quality sandpaper, which is probably biting me in my butt, but a little more digging, I think we'll be all right. We went over it again with one more round. Look at that. Wow, this thing's got a gorgeous color on it. You can see as that goes away. Got most of those out, and then there was that big one. Where did that one go? Right there. That one's mostly out too. See if I can get a good up close. Man, look at all the dust that's already fallen on this thing. So crazy to keep it nice and clean in here, but this color is absolutely incredible. Only got probably another hour of doing this, so I might just skip time-lapsing this section just because it's gonna be the same thing all the way up that side of the hood there. So I'm just gonna keep grinding at it since I got an hour, turn some music on, bang out, and get ready and cut my tint for my second appointment this morning, and we will keep grinding, man. I'll check back in here in a second. Guys, I can't get over this. I got most of this section done. There's still some touch-ups I gotta do, but look at how crazy this is. I'm not gonna be able to tell, but there is one line of curly Q somewhere, and I still gotta touch that edge up right there, and then see if we can get it without the camera. Yeah, right there. There's that curly Q, but dude, that's crazy. It's coming along great. Well, I got the cutting on this side all done. Unfortunately, this is where I'm gonna have to stop for now. I have an appointment coming at 1, and it's 12:56. So I gotta pull this thing out, wait for this customer to come. I got his stuff all ready. Hopefully he comes. I usually try not to pre-cut out my tint before, because a lot of the times, not a lot of the times, but I've had it where they've canceled on me, and it's honestly one of the most annoying things, and wasting a bunch of film and product sucks. It's not cheap. I'm trying to run a business, but anyways, if it was my choice, I'd keep grinding on this, but unfortunately I can't. I did take off all day Monday to focus on this thing. I'm hoping I can get it dialed, and then I gotta put some miles on it because it's been sitting for so long that the tranny is kind of like sticky, I would say. It runs and drives fine. Once you're in gear, it goes, shifts. Oh, good, my appointment's here. So yeah, Monday we'll jump back into it. Guys, it's Monday. We're checking back in. I was able to do just a touch more between my appointments on Friday and Saturday morning before we decided, or sorry, yesterday on Sunday when we got back from going up north. So I'm gonna show you where we're at. Pretty much the hood is 95% completed with the compound stage. I'll show you right now. We're looking good. I am waiting for my new mini buffer to come. I got one of those little 2-inch guys, just to touch up some of this area. See if I can get it on the camera anywhere, like right there. You can see just a faint amount right there. And then that upper little collar part needs a lot, but my 6.5-inch pad is too stiff to really kind of go around that contour. See, I'll show you right there. We still got to touch up. So I'm not gonna polish it yet. This side has been polished just because I wanted to see about where it's at. It's dusty, so it's gonna be hard to pick up. But I mean, you can see the difference between that and that. So that's a world of a difference. I'm gonna start on this side because I wanna get this fender done. There's some good scratches in that, and this door where there's this big scratch. So I'm gonna hop you guys up on the tripod. We'll do a time lapse on this fender and hop back in. And I'll probably do a voiceover during that process to explain to you exactly what I'm doing. That way it's not such a boring time lapse, but yeah, let's get it. Well guys, by the time I got done with this hood, I had figured out the easiest process with this pad and compound combination. You can see I'm just working in 1.5 by 1.5 sections, going nice and slow. You can't tell in the time lapse, but you'll see right here is after the first pass, and it's already coming out crazy better. So I'm just doing this process all the way down. I do need my mini buffer in order to get in that body line where it sharp contours out and across the top, but I'm doing what I can while I can now with what I have. So we got the first initial cut. There's obviously, I got to dig a little more on it, but I mean, just look at the difference from that to that. You can still see the haze in there, but yeah, the difference in the color is just nuts. So I did the first cut, and then I'm gonna clean my pad. So I'm gonna go over it just to get all that oxidization and first layer of stuff that is just buried in this paint. And I will do that, clean the pad, so that way it's fresh start for the second step. Well, technically not the second step, but still the first step, because I'm using compound. I'm doing the initial cut. So we're gonna get this cleaned up. I'm gonna do it off camera. I'm trying to get as much done as possible today. I'd like to get at least one or maybe even both sides done. It's noon. I plan on leaving at 4. Gonna go play with the drone, get some cool footage shots of my truck, and yeah. Well, I got the first final cut done. This thing is obviously looking better than down there. There's still some touch-up spots I gotta hit, but other than that, we're getting there. I'm gonna go ahead now and just start cutting on this door. Once I get all the cutting done, I'm gonna come through and I will do it with a final polish after I hit it with when this mini DA polisher comes. Wow, am I really struggling to talk today? But I ordered my 2 and 3 inch mini DA, and then I'm gonna touch up a bunch of spots, and then I'll hit it with the final polish, and she'll be dialed. Cause yeah, up here I'm not gonna be able to do much. I don't like running my 6.5 inch pad all the way across it like that, but also up there, you know, I gotta go around all these tight spots. So I'm gonna move back to this door. I'm just gonna hit from that door handle. I'm gonna square it off like right here, and I'll hit all this down as best as I can. See if I can't get that scratch out. The reason I'm really doing this is to get all these scratches out. This is a very nice truck. doesn't get driven enough. So at least might as well look pretty when it's sitting there. Remember when you're doing this stuff, guys, it's time consuming, okay? So don't get frustrated with it. It's not that hard, but section yourself off. Do, you know, a foot by a foot, or in this case, just do a foot section or 1.5 feet. Get that area all nice and done. Then move over to there. And as you're doing it, you're gonna come slowly over and just overlap that last pass you did just a little bit to essentially blend it all in. If you're trying to do a big panel, all you're doing is creating a bunch of dust and just riding over that dust, and then you're gonna get micro scratches everywhere. So take it slow. I like to start top to bottom and keep going. All right, guys, we're back. I hope in that one you can see just that quick transformation that this thing had. I'm gonna try to speed up that time lapse, but that way it's not so long. But I think it would be cool to see what that turned out like, watching me go through, and after every wipe, every pass like that, how much better and better it's getting. It's still not perfect. Like I said, I need that mini buffer, and I'm gonna touch up some spots as we go. But now I'm gonna work on that big old scratch on the door. I'm gonna drop you guys down low again and give you guys another view of that. I think it's gonna be pretty sick. I think the cat even thinks it's gonna be sick. Couple pointers. You don't necessarily need one of these, you know, tornado guns to blow your pads out, but as long as you got air and you can continue to clean your pads as you go, you don't get it clumped up. You're not, you know, if it's starting to feel hard and crispy, give it a blow, or you can go ahead and give it a quick rinse and wash it out. That's the thing with detailing, polishing, and such like that. You know, you might have the attention to detail in the car, but then you overlook little things like that. You don't want to do that. So just keep going, carry it on. Trust in the process. Process always tends to pay off. Now, I don't know if you guys caught that in this fender here. I'm gonna flip it over again one more time and show you, but I'm not shooting for 1,000% perfection here. There's flaws on this truck. There's a chip out of the door on the other side. The corners on the hood and the front fender on the peaks are chipping. You can see that it's chipped there. It's chipped there. You know, there's a chip there. It's just, you know, it's not 100% perfect. There's the big one. There's some scratches in it, like right there and there, which I think I'll be able to dig out. But you can see one thing, because they shaved everything on this rig. So if you look, where is it at? You see that little ripple? See if I can get it lined up just perfect. It's probably easier on this side. Yeah, see that ripple right there? What they did there, with my best guess, I know pretty much a lot about this truck. This truck's been in the family and friends for about 7, 8, probably longer than that, probably like 10 years. This is probably where the antenna was, and they shaved it, and it looks like they might have just tried to fill it. And yeah, this was painted years ago, so they didn't have the technology and the body filler and all that such, so it probably just shrank over time. So you can really see that. That's why I'm not going for 100% perfection, because the shinier this truck is, the more you see stuff like that that we can't fix. So, but anyways, I'm gonna flip it over. We're gonna attack this freaking scratch and keep running down the truck. right, guys, I was able to get a lot of this door out, and I am very, very excited. I took a few minutes to go outside and fly my new drone just to get the hang of it so I can go do some fun little shots later today. Also went over to the Postal Service and seen if my mini polisher did come today. And of course it did not. So I will go ahead. I'm going to show you where I'm at. I'll show you this door. So we get up and close. You could still see some of that scratch in there, but holy crap. This thing is coming out beautiful. I was able to just prop the door open and get around the window frame. So now all I need the mini polisher for is getting behind that door handle, around that edge. And I want to clean up that edge just a touch. And where else? Oh yeah, right around, you can kind of see it all hazy. There you go. And I want to tidy up around that door lock. But I'm at a good point right now to keep moving forward. I can do touch-ups and stuff when I pull it out into the sun. That's when you really see it. That light does pretty good that I got there, but doesn't do the best. So now I'm going to swing open this door just like so. And I'm going to hit this cab all the way up to here. And I might wrap just over it a little bit to there. I'm going to wait to do the hood till I do have the mini polisher. I can't take this off, so it's going to be kind of a trick to get around all of it. But we're going to keep grinding away at this and see what we can save. Judging by what's done already, man, I think we're going to be looking good. Well, guys, this is getting to be quite an incredible transformation in my eyes. You can just see it alone in the clarity of the lights on the reflections. Like, that's bad. Looks like somebody cleaned it with steel wool. But then you can go up here, and I mean, it's about as clear as you can get it. Let me kick some more stuff. Got this fender just about wrapped up. I need to do this lower section yet. Some touch-ups when I get my mini polisher. That door, look at this. The scratches almost completely gone. It's incredible. You can see a little bit of it right there. But that's remarkable how good this stuff works. Hit the back of the cab up. So if I step back, I guess I got this big glass in the way, but we'll go over to the fender. I mean, you can just see the clarity's way better in the lights. Color is just beautiful. Anyways, guys, that's as far as I'm going to get for the day. I'm not exactly sure when I will get back into it. Hopefully soon. I'd rather just get it all done up. So whether it's Saturday or Sunday, or if I get time between appointments. I got to bring this drive shaft in down to the driveline shop here, a couple 30 minutes away or so. It's for a buddy's Buick. He's got a Skylark 71 Skylark, I think. He's doing an LS swap in, so he's got the new yoke for the trans. Got the new drive line, and he's got to go get that shortened and each end of the U-joints swapped out. Obviously, you got to use some sort of adapters. But yeah, you guys seen what this truck's looking like so far. So I think we have some very, very good chances that this thing's going to come out beautiful. I have another paint correction on Thursday. That's with a black one, so that's going to be a little more in depth, a lot more work, if you must say. Black shows everything. So anyways, I'm going down to the driveline shop, gonna hit up Walmart, get a SD card for the drone so we can do some cool roller shots in the future. Looking to find some GoPros as well, just so I don't have to use my phone. This is kind of annoying, but it is what it is, so work with what we got now, guys. This is me checking out for the day. All right, guys, we're back. We got our mini polisher in, and I had gone ahead and touched up that rib on the hood and that upper valance. I also was able to come around, touch around that marker light and any spot that was on this body line. around this door handle I got, and that body line right there. And now we're to where my rag is. Actually, we're probably like right here. And I'm working this top of this bed. I'm gonna work the bed from the top down. And if you guys are looking for affordable mini polisher, so far I'm okayly impressed with this, I guess you could say. This is just a cheap one off of Amazon, the SPTA. Comes with the full kit, comes with a bunch of pads. It does have this guy, which is the offset that the head, so it's, what do you want to call it? A DA style, but it doesn't have enough power or speed to spin it. So I just use it as a rotary style. It'll be fine. Batteries seem to be lasting fine. I've been at it for like an hour now with this thing, and we are sitting still at full. So I'll take it. This will work great because I haven't even touched the very front of this hood yet. So along here, this will be great for, you know, those ribs on the body lines. Be great for, obviously, door handles. But anyways, guys, we're going to keep grinding here. What do you think? Did you get a bug? You get a bug? Oh, okay. Ran along that whole top. Again, I'm not shooting for 100% perfection. This thing gets driven quite a bit this summer, but as you can tell, those scratches that you've seen in that last little clip there are virtually gone. There's one little guy that I was digging on. Where are you at? Like right there it is. You can see it right there. Come on now. Yeah, you can still see it, but I dug most of it out. I'm not going to keep grinding on it. Now I'm going to start on this bottom half. So right now I'm going to go around the gas cap. I'll probably, I don't feel like removing it. So I'll probably just go around it, and then I'll use the mini polisher and I'll get the gas cap. So I'm just going to go from right here, straight down on that edge. I'll hit this section and then just keep grinding away. Well, guys, we're officially halfway, well, technically I'd say a quarter of the way done. Hood's cut, fenders, door, this whole side has been went through and compounded. So none of this is even a polish yet. So the polishing is going to bring it even more depth to the paint. So right now I was going to roll up this window and spray off everything and just double check everything. But I think for right now, I'm just going to keep going along. I looked at it with my handy dandy light sitting there. I still have to hit the top of this bed rail, but I'm going to move back to this tailgate, get this done. And then I think I'm going to switch over and jump up front to that fender and just keep working back. I have a customer coming at around 5:30 and it is 3:30 right now. So he's just dropping off, but he wants to go over some tint percentages and all of that. So we are going to go and keep grinding on this until he shows up. Hopefully I can get a good distance in. I will probably, wherever I end off at, probably around 5, I'm going to say, I will go ahead, roll up the windows, and I will blast everything off. This thing just accumulates dust so bad sitting out there. I got a gravel road that's right there. So yeah, I'm just going to do that and get caught up. Make sure I'll double check everything. I'll use the drying towel, get it all nice and dry. I'm going to double check everything. And then it's gonna have to go back outside because tomorrow I'm kind of have a busy day. If I finish at a decent time, I'll probably pull this thing back in. Regardless, it's gonna sit in here. I do have, well, the city, I should say, shuts down this portion of Main Street that goes from there to there. So people like to, I should say that they shut that down for what we call the street dance. They hire a band that comes out, a bunch of vendors come out, food trucks come out. It's actually a really good time. But most of tomorrow after I'm done, I'm going to be putting out no parking signs because this place gets packed. Everyone likes to park. Last time I had somebody literally parked in front of my door while I had a customer's car in here. So people don't care as long as they can find a parking spot because they're too lazy to walk. Not my problem. I'm running a business. Skadoodle. But anyways, we're going to jump on to the tailgate and then I'll wash it. Well, I'm not going to like scrub it or anything. I'm just going to rinse it off. And then this thing is going to be done essentially for the time being till I can have some time to hop onto the other side, run that down. And I mean, the more time you take on it, I should say, the better the outcome's going to be. And you could see the difference between that and that. So, I mean, it's trying to focus on my cat. It's so clear there. So just take your time, guys. I mean, this thing's going to be not 100% perfect, but boy, is it going to look a lot better. Well, tailgate is done with the cutting process. So as of right now, I would consider this vehicle halfway done. Just because I got the roof yet, but I'm going to start up on this front fender here. I had already went and did the front of this hood. It's kind of bad, so I just did the best I could just to give it some pop back into it. The front of this fender has a chip right here, as you can see, but I did run along the top of the fender and just got that out of the way. Now I'm going to work on this section here. I'm just going to go for this full fender. It's going to be the same as the other side, but we'll do a little before video. All right, guys. Holy crap, did it get busy. Between working on my other video and just work, we now finally have time to bring the purple truck back in. My computer's going absolutely berserk and it's going to annoy me all day, I can promise you that much. But I had to go back through the videos just to see where we had left off. It's been that long. So right now I'm up on this front fender. And we got to do this passenger side of the truck. But first, I'm going to go ahead and fire up the pressure washer and get this thing cleaned up from sitting. I mean, y'all seen how the hood was before. I don't understand how it just gets so filthy so fast. But the roof is the worst. That's probably where I'm going to spend most of my time. I feel like that other side is going to fly by. And then I will have to go over this whole thing with one more polish to bring that pop back out and get whatever small residual stuff is left over from after the wash. So I'm gonna go ahead, fire this thing, or the pressure washer up real quick and get this thing cleaned up and then give myself some time to put my mess of tools away. All right, well, I just cut out this bumper. This is all buffed up. Those streaks, you can see that line right there. That will go away when I polish it. But we're gonna move on to this door. This door is pretty rough. So here's a little before clip for y'all. There you can really see it. This whole portion right here and all the way up was just mangled. I don't know if somebody actually uses this door key or not, but there was a big gouge right here we got out, and I just jumped over to with the small rotary quick to cut out that one that was on the bed. So I'm gonna do one more pass on this door, and then we're gonna jump on this bed, and this bed is pretty gnarly. Sheesh. Well, guys, bed and roof are all that's left. I'm debating on busting out the rotary on this bedside and hoping it cuts a little faster for me. I hate using the rotary, but you know what? With some new good old compound here and a nice pad, I think we'll be okay. All right, so I busted out the rotary. It does cut a lot faster. I mean, this was like 2 passes. You can see already how much better that is than it was. I got to do this back half. I'm only doing the top part with the rotary. I'll do the bottom with the DA. But I hit it with the rotary first, and then I followed up with the DA. The DA helps pick up. Let's see if I can find something. Can't really see. But like all this residual compound that the rotary tends to leave, the DA will help clean that up a lot nicer. So I'm gonna run over it real quick with the DA and then consider this top part all cut out. It's looking very good already, and that took 1/3 of the time that the door did just to do that much. So I love it. And that's after the rotary. So you can see a faint line right there. There's still some compound left. The polish does take that out, so don't get too concerned about it. But I mean, you can just see, like I said, there's a lot of orange peel on this paint. To do it correctly, like to get it perfect, you would have to wet sand all that out. But we're just gonna shine this thing up. But you can see the clarity from there to there. I mean, it's just a decent difference. But top is all done with being cut. Now we got to work on this bottom, and we got a nice scratch right there, and another one. Oh, there's just a big section of them right here. So, all right, guys. Well, the box is all finished being cut out. The only thing I couldn't dig out is that booger. I don't know what it is, but I don't remember where it was now. There was that one long scratch. I got that out, and I got the other one that was up there. You kind of see I got part of it left over that I can't quite get out, but I'm not going to dig any deeper on it unless that's a hair. No. Yeah, that's where I couldn't get it out. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and polish this side. So I'm caught all the way up. All I need left is the roof, and then this thing will be finished. This has got to be the worst part of the whole truck, so this would be a sweet transformation photo. So I'll get a photo of before and after to save some time on this video so you're not watching a 3-hour-long video. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you sticking around. Let's get this thing done. Got her outside. She's all polished up. Let's take a look at her. Man. What a beautiful color. So guys, this is what I used. You can get everything off of Amazon. These are the Lake Country pads, 6.5 inch. What I mainly used was the blue, the heavy cut, and went to their polish pad. This thing holds a lot of polish. I practically did the whole passenger side of the truck with like 5 daubs of the polish. As for compound polish, I used the 3D 510, that's the compound, and then the 520, which would be the finishing polish, And I use that on my 6-inch Bauer DA polisher. Now, like I said, you guys can get all this on Amazon. It's fairly cheap. I think the pads were $50 and each bottle was like 30 to 35. I think if you buy them both in the same bottle. Now, mind you, you don't have to get this big size bottle like this. You can get, they make the smaller ones, which are cheaper. I bet you I used that much compound for that whole entire truck. And I bet you I barely even broke that top of that sticker for the polish. The polish goes the farthest, but the compound cut's really good. Necessarily need one of these. I got the old, tornado gun to blow up my pads after every pass. You can use a regular air gun. Everything works. To clean them, I usually use just Dawn dish soap in the sink. I'll soak the pads, spray them, and then I just scrub the crap out of them. I sometimes use Simple Green if it's a little harder. You just got to know what compound you're using, what polish you're using to know what's going to actually break that down in the pad and pull it out once you clean it. So anyways, guys, with that being said, I appreciate you for watching. Next video, we got a 3-wheeled unit. That's all I'm going to say. But thank you guys for checking out the channel, man. Appreciate you.